Hello YouTube, BossKrenko here, well Ethan, also known as BossKrenko. So I just thought I'd quickly go over the deck list before you get into the re-upload from the Legacy stream. There was like a 10-minute downtime in between the start of the video and the start of the match, so I thought I'd cut that down a bit. So we're playing 4-color Karntrol today. So this is basically 4-color control and a very similar list to the ones that have been going around online recently. So the same mana base minus 2 cycling lands that were added in for value. We've also cut Ponder, we've cut the 3 Plague Engineers, we've cut one of the Leovolds and some other things, and we've instead added in Karn the Creator, some Baleful Strixes, and we've added Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek, and also the Karn package in the sideboard. So this was kind of inspired by seeing the 4-color deck do well firstly. So I think this was mostly based off Lawrence Harmon's core, and then Mark Aylett, who is a UK Legacy player. I think he got top 10th position in the challenge at the weekend with a blue-black Thopter Foundry deck, and I thought, well, I wonder if you can fit this in the 4-color control deck. And so here we are. So we'll see how this goes. It's good fun, and I guess I'll leave it at that. But I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, this is the deck list, so cheers. Up to like 30 degrees plus today, I think. So it's quite warm for the UK. I understand Florida gets much hotter than that, as do other parts of the United States. So, okay, so the main thing today: try not to time out. Don't brainstorm turn 1 arbitrarily. Okay, so we're on the draw. This is basic forest looking good in this hand. Wow. I guess we'll. I mean, this is fine because we've got Wrenn and Six, but yeah, okay, we've got Wrenn and Six. This is all good, but this is quite hilarious. This is quite hilarious. Because this mana base. We'll see how this goes. We will see how this goes. If we could draw an Arcum Astrolabe, that'd be pretty hot as a turn 1 play. I think I'd quite like to draw an Arcum Astrolabe. Ponder on turn 1, that's fine. So the fact they're playing a snow-coloured island makes me worry that we're going to be playing the mirror. But then I would have thought in the mirror, Thopter Sword should just win. Although I guess if they are playing the mirror, it'll have 3 Plague Engineers in it, and then we'll have to get rid of those for our Thopters to survive. Anyway, so for now, let's just play this Vista and pass the turn. We don't need to do anything. I will pitch this Snapcaster. Actually, I'll probably pitch a Brainstorm to this Force of Will if anything obnoxious happens. I am going to force. Well, they're not going to him. Never mind. But I think, yeah, we'll see if this goes. Usually plays Liliana. How's it going, Pete? Okay, fair enough. If it's a Lurin, we might be okay against the Lurin. We'll see how this goes. I don't have any quick kills really with this deck, but okay, that was a good draw. So let's go. Okay, so if it's a Lurin, I'm not expecting Wastelands, unless they have jammed Wrenn and Six in there, which I guess it's fair to assume. So I guess I probably just still want to get a Volcanic Island. Seems kind of, well, I have to get a Volcanic Island, right? If I don't get a Volcanic Island, if I get a mountain and then this doesn't resolve, that would be so bad. So Volcanic Island it is. I can't get a Volcanic Island with the Prismatic Vista. I cannot get a Volcanic Island with the Prismatic Vista. So we will be getting a mountain and hoping to all that is holy that this Wrenn and Six resolves. Maybe I should have just brainstormed. I probably should. Oh, I couldn't have. Maybe I should just brainstorm with this. With an island instead. Maybe I should brainstorm with an island instead. I didn't really think this through. Do we just go balls to the wall and try and get this Wrenn and Six to resolve? The problem is we can't cast anything if it doesn't resolve. And if they've got like Pierce plus Force, we're in a bad spot. But Allurin doesn't play Pierce. It just plays Force of Will, and we've got a Force of Will. So I think I'm going to go balls to the wall, mountain, try and play this Wrenn because we haven't got anything else going on. So let's hope this resolves. Please. Please can this resolve. Come on. Oh, we're going to be... If they like double force this, we're in such a bad spot. Oh, please. Come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Just resolve. Sweet. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it worked out. We're all good. That's fantastic for us. What did they pitch? I didn't check that. They pitched a Force of Will. Okay. I think we can all agree that was quite the greedy early line, but I don't know. I want to do something on... I want to spend all my mana on turn 2. Whatever. This is okay. Could be worse. Okay, interesting. I wonder what they hit. I guess they just named Brainstorm. So this does smell like they're going to be able to play... So they probably named Brainstorm, and then they're going to be able to hit a second thing if they've got Veteran Explorer. They hit Jason Mind Sculptor, fair enough. That's bold. I don't know, I guess it's not bold. I guess it's pretty obvious that we're playing 4-color control since we did this, and then forced, so that's fair enough. Oh, I really thought we were going to get Veteran Explorer there. I guess they're not going to name Brainstorm since we pitched one. Could name Ponder though or something as well, I guess. Okay, so now we will just play... I guess we'll fetch and get an island for now. I can't decay anything. Allurin does cost 4. I think I'm just going to tick up and pass because I don't know what colour I want to fetch, and I want to be able to leave up. I want to be able to leave up either blue or black, and then we can Brainstorm on their turn if we need to try and find a Force of Will, and we can decay something if that happens too. And then next turn we'll have a second fetch land to get this Strix into play. Okay, so they're going to Veteran Explore this turn. Alright, so that's fine. Oh, this is actually really good for us, right? This is actually really good for us in a way. So I'll Brainstorm when they therapy. But this is good for us in that it means that we get a bunch of lands out of this. So let's just Brainstorm, try and find a Force of Will, which they might well name. So they know about everything apart from the Vista. So let's do this. Oh, I mean, get a shuffle out of this as well. That's pretty good. Okay, so in that case, to be honest, I just don't need this. I don't need the Vista, and I think I don't need the Sea. Everything else will just keep, and they can just name whatever they want, and that's fine. And then we'll get another island, and we'll get a swamp. Sweet. That's fine. So we could even... Okay, we can't actually snap Brainstorm, but that's fine. Okay, I think that's okay. So they'd need to have exactly Allurin and... the name's Snapcaster Mage, that's fine. So they need to have exactly Allurin and... they got Leovold. That is also fine. So we can just triumph that, which is good for us. Keeping the Delta was pretty important because now we can get dual lands, which is sweet. Interesting. So it's going to get pierced. Oh, Arbor, of course. I didn't think about that. Okay, well that was dumb on my part. Never mind. Good that the Underground Sea didn't shuffle away. That's nice. So I guess we just have to take our lumps and decay this now, and then we can just play the Strix. Yeah, so I didn't play this very well. I should have thought about the Arbor. I forget that they have that in the list. But never mind. So let's decay this. They can draw a card. we can then play the Delta, fetch. What do you want to fetch? A black dual land. So let's get probably a Bayou. I don't think it really matters. Let's get a Bayou. And play this guy. Draw a card. That was a pretty good one. Return this guy and pass the turn. So they're actually dead in 2 turns with the Karn, which is pretty good. So let's see how this goes. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. So library's okay. I wouldn't have thought they've really got any ways to get this off the board if it resolves. So that's actually fine. That's not a problem at all. That's also fine. So let's start with another Strix. See what we hit. Sword of the Meek, that's also pretty good. Question now is, do we go for Lattice or do we just go for... I guess we just go for Foundry, right? So if we go for Foundry, we'll play the Sea out. If we go for Foundry, because we get 2 activations in this sticks around. So if we go for Foundry this turn, then if this gets removed, we get to keep the sword combo. And then next turn we can just get this Lattice and then we're just all done and dusted. So let's get Foundry for now. So this is seems like a pretty good backup policy. Get in for 1, pass the turn. So they could combo us here and then we just lose. But we kind of, we've got them on a 1-turn clock. So they need to answer the Karn this turn or we're all good. So I guess they could have Assassin's Trophy as the card they might be looking for, I guess. So they obviously didn't find it, and they've drawn 3 with the library so that they can then brainstorm to look deeper. Okay, so this doesn't matter. Unless they have a way to kill the Karn, but now they've got only blue and 2 green left. It seems unlikely they're going to have a way to kill the Karn, so that's fine. I suppose the route is also that we just don't have Mycosynth Lattice. Okay, they have that, that's fine. So they could still have Assassin's Trophy now, if they've got that in hand. Okay, so let's get our Lattice. I guess they could also have Force of Will, which would be kind of annoying. Let's play. Actually, let's. Oh no, they just conceded. Fair enough. Okay, sweet. Thought that lagged out a little bit. Okay, nice. That went pretty well, honestly. So these seem pretty good. Thoughtseize seems pretty good. Return to Nature seems pretty good. Having access to a disenchant effect seems fantastic in this matchup. What do we not want? This seems less good, honestly, the Triumph. We could probably also just cut some of this combo because I think it's going to be super slow. The problem is you've got more things to bring in really than we do have to cut, I guess, is the issue here. We could cut a Snapcaster Mage, possibly. Oh no, that's probably pretty... Actually, don't think we can cut Snapcaster if we've got like such a spread of different cantrips and things. So Karn is probably our best way to win this because it just offers a way to end the game with the Lattice. I think all of these are pretty good. I guess the Pyroblast effects are possibly not good enough. They might be too low. No, they've got Force of Wills though. They are pretty good. We could also just cut the combo entirely. We could almost just cut the combo entirely as well. I guess Kolaghan's command's not necessarily that good. That's maybe a good one to cut. Yeah, you're right. Pyroblast is usually pretty good against Illyrian. I think I like most of this is the problem. Don't want to get rid of too much removal, but I think Triumph is okay to get rid of, since we're not necessarily going to have to edict what we want. We could cut one Snapcaster, I guess. We could also cut a Bolt, maybe. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Carpet of Flowers is why I was thinking of not cutting it. I think Bolt has got a good shout as a cut. Like, that doesn't do a whole lot. I think that's okay. Yeah, you're right. Snaps are probably fine. Okay, we'll try this. I think Decay for Library and Carpet is worth it. So I think shaving one Bolt's probably okay. Because as you say, most of the creatures are 2 for 1. So that's probably fine. Okay, this seems like a pretty decent hand. So we could do the Force of Will, but we've got one half of the combo, which is kind of slow against Illyrian. And they're likely going to have more hate now. But we do have a Thoughtseize, which is super nice. So we can go probably just Termon Delta into... So probably Termon Underground Sea into Thoughtseize. And then we only need red mana, which we can get off the Astrolabe. So they did not shuffle. Okay, nice. And we've drawn our Bolt, which is pretty sweet. So let's just go Thoughtseize. They kept a 6 as well, I think. Maybe I think they kept a 6. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize this guy. Okay, they're definitely playing Illyrian then. And then we can get rid of this Illyrian. Nothing else really is a problem. And we can... Yeah, that's all fine, I think. Therapy's kind of annoying, but they're not going to be able to get any value out of that at the moment as things stand. So we just want to get rid of the thing that kills us sort of imminently. Okay, so they're going to flash in the Ice Fang this turn. So I guess they can Therapy us next turn off of the Ice Fang. So we probably want to bolt the Ice Fang this turn in all, or we could just play the Foundry, I guess. We could just play the Foundry and then it doesn't really matter what they do. That's probably also worth doing. If we just play the Foundry out this turn, then if they Therapy us, they can take like a Brainstorm and the Astrolabe, or like a Bolt or something, which doesn't matter. So let's just play the Foundry out off of the Tropical Island, and then we can go from there. Yeah, because now this can't be therapied. There's less ways for them to get rid of this off the table. So they're going to play the Ice Fang this turn, I guess, off of like a Trop or a Bayou, yeah. And then they might well Therapy on our next turn, even off of this potentially. Be interesting to see. Okay, there's the Carpet, so that kind of sucks. That was a good draw for them. And that was blind as well, since... I guess he had 2 turns to draw that, to be fair. Oh, this card is so good against blue decks. Super scary. We do have a Bolt for a Leovold though, which is nice. I guess cutting the Bolt against Leovold is kind of rough, actually. So maybe I should have just cut the second. I should have cut 2 Foundries and just kept both bolts in, just because Leovold's super rough. And they can find it with Recruiter. So I guess they're going to cast Recruiter now. Maybe Recruiter for Leovold. Or something similar. Nope, we're just going to go... Oh, Therapy. Okay, fair enough, we are going to go Therapy. And then maybe Strix. Therapy into Strix, I guess. If that's what they've drawn. Brainstorm, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so without the Brainstorm, the hand's not looking amazing. But I think getting the Foundry down was worth it. Maybe that's just wrong. Unfortunately, it means they get to take probably the Astrolabe, I guess, because the Lightning Bolt doesn't really do a lot. Although I guess if they're going to play, yeah, I guess if they're going to play Leovold, then actually the Lightning Bolt's quite good. Okay, so they didn't have a second card, which is at least good for us. Alright, that was not what we wanted to draw. So let's play the Vista. Get probably just an island at this point, because we've got all the other colours of our mana. And then play this Astrolabe. Okay, that wasn't what we wanted, and then just pass the turn. So they've only got a Recruiter left that we know about. So definitely not in a good spot. Definitely not in a good spot here. Yep. That also works. And it also means we can't fix mana with the Astrolabe, which is good to know. And they also have the Leovold. So that's a pretty brutal couple of turns there for us, which they've just ripped off the top. Okay, Brainstorm, right on time. Let's just play this Badlands and pass the turn, I think. So now we basically just want to draw a Karn. If we draw a Karn, we can draw a bridge. And then we'll be in a good spot. I wonder if they get the Recruiter now then. I guess just half their combo. Or they could just get a Strix even. Tracker, sure, that makes sense. They are light on mana though, so that's good for us. Okay, that's good for us. So now we can kill the Leovold. I guess cutting a bolt was fine since you had the Pyroblast for Leovold actually. So we can kill a Leovold. Draw some cards with Brainstorm and go from there. Unfortunately they get to draw one, but that's how it is. Brainstorm off of this. See what we can find. Okay, that's not really what we're after. So let's put both of these back. And I guess we'll just play this Wrenn and Six and return a Prismatic Vista for now. Because we can't really kill anything, and this will just kill... It'll just die the next turn otherwise. So we'll get a basic with this and return a Vista. I suppose actually should probably prioritise the Delta, although I think I've only got one more fetchable land. Yeah, let's return this and pass the turn. Thanks very much for the follow, Cole. Apparently, did you not follow me before, Cole? Nice. All right, here comes Tracker. Yeah, so we definitely not in a good spot here. Do I not have a Deluge in the main deck? It's entirely possible that I do not have a Deluge in the main deck. I thought I did, but that somehow slipped out. Okay. Maybe I cut the Deluge because I sort of assumed we wouldn't need it as much with Thopter Foundry, but that's probably wrong. It's entirely possible there's supposed to be a Deluge in this list, and it actually isn't at the moment. So that is probably quite a big oversight. Okay, that dies. That's fine. It's not really doing anything for us at the moment. So you basically just need to draw... If we draw a Karn this turn, we can play a bridge, and then we're all good again. If we don't draw a Karn this turn, which we didn't because we drew a Bayou, then we're just dead. Okay, so that was a bit of a rough one. We basically just flooded out that game. There was the main decision point was whether to play the Thopter Foundry out in front of the Cabal Therapy or Brainstorm. I didn't really think about Brainstorm enough, I think. That may have been better. But, I don't know. I thought playing the Foundry out was okay, because you can always draw another Brainstorm or something else. Whereas we've only got 2 of these in the deck post-board, so I don't know. I think that was okay. So, don't think it's worth making any changes. Actually, that's probably not true. The bolt is bringing the bolt in for the Oofy is probably worth it, and then I can cut probably just another Foundry, maybe. I could cut an Astrolabe possibly as well. That's maybe fine. Do this. That's probably fine. I really need a Deluge in this 75. I don't know why. Don't ask me why there's not a Deluge in the 75. Okay, actually, maybe the Kolaghan's command's just better, because that kills the Yuffie. You'd bring in more Foundries. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe trim forces. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that also makes sense. We don't need to force as many things. So we could try this, possibly. 2 force. Leave the K command in. That is true. We could cut at least a Wasteland. Stick that back in there, maybe. I think Wrenn for colour fixing is good, but the Wasteland, I agree, probably isn't good enough. In fact, we probably just don't want any of the Wastelands at all. Like, they don't cast... I guess they cast Karn, to be fair. They do cast Karn. Okay, yeah, we'll cut both of those. And probably just bring the Bolt back in. That's probably just better. That seems a lot better. Oh, I need to leave one of these in the board anyway. So I'll bring in the other sword. I'll just do this. I think that's fine. Okay, I think that works. I could also bring the Triumph back in, actually, instead of one of the swords. Do this. That might work. That could be okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cutting the Wastelands is a lot more sensible. Okay, let's give this a go. See if we can get the third game. Ah, fair enough, Cole. Yeah, no worries. Well, glad that you followed. Alright, this seems good. Keep this. Snap off a turn 1 Thoughtseize off of an Underground Sea. We could also do it off of a Bayou in case we draw a Wrenn and Six or even a Badlands, but I think we'll just do it off of an Underground Sea because we want to be able to Brainstorm next turn. I guess we just should definitely do it off an Underground Sea here. Yeah, we want to be able to Brainstorm next turn, so let's just get an Underground Sea and see what's going on, see what we're cooking with on the other side of the board. Not a lot. So the trophy isn't really a problem. The Allurin takes time to come down. Probably just take this Leovold, honestly, at the moment, because I don't have a way to kill that. The Allurin kind of is what it is. I guess I'll find a way to kill the Leovold though, whereas the Allurin's more difficult to deal with. So maybe I just take the Allurin. Because I can Brainstorm next turn before they cast the Leo. And then I've not got that many Brainstorm effects left in the deck after that. So maybe I just take the Allurin and we can find a way to kill the Leovold off of the Brainstorm. That's probably the better way of doing it. That makes the most sense. I've actually only got one way to get this off the board, which is the Back to Nature. I can snap Thoughts with the Allurin. Oh, that makes sense. That's a good shout. Yeah, okay. In which case then we will... Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Alright, I'll take the Leo then. I would take the Leo and hope to hit a land. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's fair as well. That is fair as well. I think it's pretty close either way around which one we take there, to be honest. Okay, that was a really good draw. So now we don't need to worry about the Allurin. So let's cast a play the Scalding Tarn, and I think I'm happy to just do this now, to be honest. Because I could also just find another Thoughtseize, but I'd like to find a land. This Kolaghan's command is likely just going to go back into my hand. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think for now we'll just put back... we could just put back both of the Thopter Foundries at this point, to be honest. Although we don't want to be able to, we don't want to picture this to a Force of Will, so maybe we just put back Kolaghan's Command Foundry for now. That's probably fine. And then we can pitch one of the foundries if we need to. That's probably okay. So next turn we'll just play. Next turn we can snap Thoughtseize. I don't think we need the Kolaghan's Command for the time being. Let's play. What do we need? We need a Bayou, I think. That's the last colour of mana we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe Tropical Island's better, actually. Tropical Island might be better. This can cast Foundry off of Trop and Underground Sea. The mountain's a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Yeah, Trop. Trop is the one we want. Play this guy. Play this guy. Oh, that's true. I could play a Foundry and hope he trophies it. That's a good point. I think I just want to try and get this Thoughtseize fired off before they draw a Force of Will, though. That is certainly a good shout, though. Okay, nice. That's a little bit rough, though. So this might be... I guess I can force the Therapy, but this definitely isn't the best. I think at this point, I'm okay... I guess at this point, I'm not worried about Allurin. I kind of want to just get this Thopter Foundry going. And I'm actually more worried about Therapy at this point. Because I've got 2 Foundries. Yeah, I think taking the Snake is right as well. And then we can always force the Therapy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I also think the Snake is the right take there. Because they've not got any more lands. Now they're going to have to Brainstorm on our end step. Which is fine. But they're not necessarily going to want to just Therapy in the blind next turn now, which is good for us. But we still have a... If we can get a Therapy... If they don't Therapy next turn, and we can get a Foundry down... then we've got Force Foundry up for Allurin. Although they can still just name Force with Therapy anyway. If this is a Leovold, that's fine. Basically, we only want to... I don't really want to force a Therapy. But they might go for it if they found another thing. Okay, so they're going to do this. Oh, jeez. I think I just have to let this resolve. And hope they don't name Foundry. If they name Foundry, we're in huge trouble, but I think we just have to go with this. It would be weird for them to name Foundry in all honesty, because it's not a 4 of, and they should know that. They name Brainstorm. Okay, so that's really good for us. So now we can force a follow-up Therapy. We've already cast the Brainstorm as well, though, which is interesting. So they're going to play a Green Sun Zenith. Okay, so we're just going to force this because we basically have to. Cast a Brainstorm, that's fine. And that also would ramp into Allurin for next turn. Okay, so that's all good. Let's just play this Foundry out. Oh no, I guess we can't because now they've got the trophy. That's pretty awkward. So they've got removal for the Foundry, which kind of sucks. But I guess we just have to play it out anyway. We're not going to get any value, unfortunately, but I think I still just play it. We do have removal, though, for something. So hopefully they didn't keep... I mean, they definitely would have kept Trophy, right? This is going to get trophied this turn, which kind of sucks, but... Nothing we can really... I think it's still worth playing it out, because it gets us a land for a Karn. Is kind of my thinking there. Okay, it's interesting. Maybe they just trophy it in response to the sword. Alright, that's fine. Let's just play the sword. So now it's going to get trophied in response to us casting the sword because we've spent mana. Okay, so this is fine. This means we can play Karn. We can play Karn next turn, and we can get a forest, and we can leave up this decay. So we are all good. We can actually just equip this to the Snapcaster Mage as well, but I don't think that's worth doing. They didn't hit a land though, so that's good for us. Do we just equip this and swing in? Maybe that's a clock, I guess. I don't think holding up the decay... I probably should just hold up the decay. Let's just be realistic here. It's kind of signals holding up decay, but I think it's fine. Because if they play like a Leovold, I'd like to decay that. Please don't hit a land. So we know they've got a Brainstorm for sure. Okay, this is really good for us. So hopefully we can just slam this Karn this turn. And I also want to hit a Carpet of Flowers as well. That's another reason to hold up the decay there. Or a library. So we'll play this island first. And try and resolve this Karn. And then we're not going to attack with the Snapcaster Mage, I don't think. Yeah, I think keeping the decay up was good too. Let's get another Foundry. Unfortunately, we don't have a... Unfortunately, we don't have another... I guess we can just attack with this, doesn't matter. Unfortunately, we don't have another land to get, which is a bit of a shame, so I can't get Lattice next turn yet. That's going to be Coackle, that's fine. Oh, now they can just Therapy us. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah, that's pretty rough. So now we're going to get Therapied and we're going to lose the Foundry, which sucks. And this is going to go to 2, so that was probably a misplay on my part there. Didn't really think about that. Maybe I should have just got Bridge, but then that doesn't really do anything either. At least we can decay the Ice Fang. So now this sucks because we could just be dead too. That is also true. We could just be dead too. So Karn's going to go to 2. We're going to get Therapied for Foundry. They also might just play Allurin and kill us this turn, which we can do nothing about. That's interesting. Tracker for 2. Oh, right. They don't need to worry about it because we don't get to activate anything. Sure. Okay, so this just means that they don't need to Therapy us because they can just play the Yuffie, which is fine. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So they use the trophy. We don't even know if they still got an Allurin, honestly. That was a pretty good draw. So we can probably just make this an artifact creature for the time being. Can decay the Yuffie. That is a good point. We can just decay the Yuffie. I didn't think about that. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Let's do that. We could just do that. Yeah, maybe this was a mistake. We could just do that. I don't have another blue artifact in the sideboard, no. Yeah, because then I could have gotten Force Protection. That makes sense. This is probably silly, I guess. Yeah, okay, let's... Alright, I've got 5 minutes left. Do I hold up Force of Will for a turn? I think I hold up Force of Will for a turn and then see what happens. I think that's better, but they can just Therapy for Force of Will if they're going to go for it. So I think I just have to try and kill them. Just draw a Ringleader, nice. Alright. Oh, I actually can't do both of these this turn either anyway, because we don't have a second black source. So we kind of have to pass the turn. Play the Foundry. Alright, we'll play the Foundry out and pass a turn. And then we can decay the Yuffie next turn and then hope that works. Yeah, that makes sense. This is the only real option we've got, because they could still just therapy this. So Ice Fang's going to attack Karn. They don't know about either of these cards. So I guess blind therapying isn't necessarily what they want to do, but they could just therapy Force of Will. You'd have swung with sword. Yeah, that's true, but if they... Yeah, I suppose I should have just swung with the sword. Yeah, I suppose I should have just swung with the sword. That does make a lot of sense. So I'm going to assume this is going to be Allurin this turn, which I can't do anything about. Yeah. So, can't do anything about this. So he could be dead at any point here now. That was a very good draw. Okay, so that was a very good draw. So now we can uptick. Right. So let's kill this guy. We've got Force backup for a bunch of stuff. And we can start trying to make guys and close it out. So he's going to do that. That's fine. So we can force the Mana War. With the Strix, I think that's fine. Get in for 2. Tick up on nothing. Make 2 guys. I assume they play Surgical. I actually don't know, but I'm going to play around Surgical just in case. It doesn't really matter at this point anyway. That's kind of annoying, but it's kind of what it is. If we draw a land, then we should be in good spot. So if we just draw a mana source, then we can play the Lattice. Sure. So they don't get anything back this turn, I don't think. Yeah. They can't get that back, right? Wait, what? How did they get that back? I thought they had to have a load of experience counters. Oh, return to the battlefield. Okay, fine, never mind. Well, that's pretty rough then. I should have made a Thopter there in response. That's pretty annoying. Oh, jokes, we got this. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Cast Decay. Oh, hang on. Let's do this sensibly. So they get it back every turn, which is fine, but we can make a bunch of guys, which is also fine. So I am actually a Thopter down now, which is kind of my fault. I'm not doing this very well. I should have attacked first before doing that, but that one would have been blocked anyway, probably. That's fine. I just don't really want to time out. That's fine. I can E for 4 colours if I draw a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's true. I don't think there's anything worth getting. I could get a crit. Oh no, I can get a crypt, can't I? I can just get a crypt. Hang on, this works. We're all good. We're all good. I can get a crypt and just exile their graveyard. Tormod's crypt. Play this. Exile this. Ah, crap. Now I've lost the Snapcaster Mage. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. So they should be at a little bit less than this, but that's fine. Let's just auto-yield for now. So they do get to draw a bunch of guys. So we can still just get comboed out. Okay, now we're dead, probably. That's pretty unfortunate. Now we're probably just dead. So it wouldn't have made any difference anyway. We were pretty close, I think. Yeah, now we're just dead because they just do this. Although they don't have that many draws, though, right? They don't have that many draws because they've not got many left cards left in their deck, though. So I think we're just dead. They get 7 draws. Oh, that makes sense, Carl. Yeah, that was probably just loose on my part. Yeah, I'm just playing super loose. Super loose. Mainly because we've got so little time left. You're absolutely right. I should have exiled on their end step. So now we're actually just dead on board, but that kind of sucks. Yeah, so you're totally right there. Right, well, we're just packing him. So that was pretty close. Yeah, I know. It's pretty... The damage didn't make any difference. But the exile at the end of turn was pretty bad. So we should have won that, actually, I think. We probably should have won that, but never mind. That's just running out of time and rusty play combining together to not work out, unfortunately. But this is the kind of quality level of play that you can expect in the Legacy Unchained event from myself. I know this deck seems pretty sweet though. Still, like I think we were pretty competitive there. So for those just joining, this is what we're playing. So 4-color Karntrol. So 4-color control that's been going around recently, plus Sword of the Meek Karn. Definitely, probably should have won that match if we were playing a little bit tighter. But I don't know, that felt all right. Definitely felt like we were in that one. Does Merin only trigger on your turn, on their turn? How's it going, Grand Arbiter of Taste? Yeah, they're pretty shiny today. Yeah, steel boys, bolt boys, you could call them maybe, bolt boys. Okay, so it's just your turn that happens. Yeah, that was absolutely right. I should have just left that till their end step. I couldn't remember if it was theirs or both. Plus we had 1:50 on the clock. Plus I'm super rusty this week, so unsurprising. In any case, this along with all of my broadcasts will be up on YouTube later. So if you want to check out anything we've previously done, we've got some pretty sweet stuff on there from a couple of weeks ago. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, we're on the plate, which is nice. This seems okay, so we can get a Volcanic Island, and we got 2 Wrenn and Six. So if we're against a 4-color deck, we should be okay. So we can lead on Polluted Delta, pass the turn, play a Wrenn and Six, get the Delta back, start wastelanding everyone into oblivion. Okay, so it's this deck. So this is the Dark Depths Hogak amalgamation, which is kind of hilarious at the moment. So we will definitely be... The Wasteland lock is going to be very important here, as will the Strix. So let's get our Volcanic Island and play this Wrenn and Six. And next turn we can wasteland them and play It's a shame that we didn't have... It's a shame that this isn't like a Bayou, really. Yep, that's fine. I wonder what they named with that. Brainstorm. Yep, fair enough. Makes sense. I don't know what they take. I guess they probably take... I guess they can take the Decay. The Decay might be best. Maybe the Strix, because that blocks a Depths. Although if they've got removal for the Wrenn, I guess they might take the second Wrenn. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to try. That's to try and put pressure on our Wrenn and Six, which is pretty good because we can't play anything else out yet. But I think we are definitely going to Wasteland this Blossoming Marsh, whatever it is, this turn because we've got a Bolt. So that's fine, pass the turn, and we can bolt something if we need to. This does help them get Hogak out, but we do have a Strix, which can help against that. So, back up Wrenn, Strix for Hogak, bolt, couple of Decays. I don't know if the deck plays any basics. It's probably got a couple in there, I guess. So hopefully they don't take Decay now. Taking Decay this turn would be super rough. Super rough if they take Decay this turn. I don't know what they've got that we would Decay though. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense, I think. So they've got Hogak. Ah, okay, that's pretty good. So now we're in trouble because we can't kill the Hogak. So it's possible I should have bolted this in response, but I think they still would have been able to cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wow, I should have actually bolted the plant, right? If I'd bolted this first, they wouldn't have been able to cast the Hogak. No, because they got the Reclaimer anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 7. No, so it wouldn't have made any difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It wouldn't have made any difference, actually. They've got 7 that they can delve. So this can just resolve. And then we can just bolt this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Oh, shit. They have to Convoke as well? Oh, because they need the coloured mana. Oh, crap. I thought they could just delve it all. Yeah, that's my mistake. That's a big punt. That was a big punt. Yeah, my apologies.
Wrecked. Absolutely taken down.
Ah, that was not good. Yeah, I forgot that the Convoke has to be for the coloured mana. This is just because I haven't played in ages. Okay, nice. So we're just dead probably at this point then, because I'm an idiot, as usual. There's no point decaying anything. We can Wasteland the Depth if we need to. Let's just start with this Astrolabe and see what we hit. Everybody in chat is just going to go and join join something else. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just keep Wastelanding them for now. I think I'm just going to Wasteland them off of this County Garden, to be perfectly honest. And then I assume they're just going to attack me. Yeah, I'm an idiot that doesn't understand how Convoke works. No, they're going to attack the Wrenn. Fair enough. That's great for us because that buys us a load of time. So I think we'll start with another Astrolabe, see what we draw, and then we can play a Wrenn off of I guess we can't play we can play a Wrenn. We can't play a Wrenn and Wasteland in this turn, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. That actually just doesn't matter. So let's do this, see what we draw. Okay, so nothing good. Let's just Wasteland the Blooming Marsh. There's going to be a crop rotation? Yeah. Sure. Great. So there's no way we could have played around that, really. I guess unless we just sat the Wasteland out, I suppose that's true. I guess I could have just sat the Wasteland out, but then they needed to have exactly Crop and Thespian Stage that turn, and they hadn't tutored or anything. So I think, I don't know, I think Wastelanding there was fine, since we were trying to go on the lock them out plan. I suppose the fact they had the Hogak meant that wouldn't have worked necessarily, so maybe I should have been more conservative, but the big mistake was obviously not bolting in response to the second guy for Convoke, because I'm an idiot. Okay, so Triumph isn't even that good because they've got a bunch of guys. Bridge is fantastic, but we want to leave that on the board. Sword and Foundry should be good too. Thoughtseize is going to be good. I don't think we need it. Well, we obviously don't need any of the blasts. Bolt is probably fine. And then Decay seems a little bit medium, in all honesty. Actually, I suppose Leovold is pretty medium here, because they're not drawing any cards. Leovold's pretty medium. Terminate, or something that just like kills creatures dead, would be pretty good. Shame you don't have anything like that. I suppose Dreadbore is technically the one you'd want to use. I don't know if we need Kolaghan's Man. Oh, Return to Nature is probably fine. Well, we don't know if they're going to play any enchantments, I suppose. I don't know, could probably cut the Kolaghan's Command. We don't need to be grindy. We could probably cut one Decay, maybe? Or maybe like one Bolt. Do I just go the whole hog and add white for swords? Yeah, I suppose that's also possible. We'll see. Don't know. We'll see. Might just cut this Bolt, honestly. That's probably just fine. Give this a go. Alright, so this seems pretty reasonable. So we'll keep this and play the island on the first turn, I think. Because I don't think they play Wasteland. But I don't want to play the Vista because I need that for our fourth colour of mana at some point. And we're definitely going to play a Strix next turn. So I think we're just going to play this island. And then we can also brainstorm into a Force of Will if they've got like some turn 1 nuts stuff going on. So this I think makes the most sense. Next time we'll play a Strix and go from there. Inquisition, sure. So this doesn't matter. They can take one Strix. They probably just take the Brainstorm anyway, which is fine. Yep. So if we don't die really quickly, we might be able to get a bridge down with this Karn. That was a terrible draw. Well, it wasn't actually a terrible draw. That was a land that we needed. So, okay, I guess that's not a terrible draw. I guess that's not a terrible draw. That's not necessarily true. That was a good draw. Let's see if we can pull back from the brink of continued punts. That's fine. So they cast a second 1-drop. They'll probably just have a second one of these, right? They're just going to therapy us. Okay, so I guess they just name Karn here? Well, they can name 2 things, right? That's super obnoxious. They're going to take Karn and Foundry, I assume. Strix. Okay, that's fine. So now they're going to take Strix and then I assume Foundry. Although they kind of need to convoke with the Stitcher Supplier, so that is kind of interesting too. Maybe they just take the Karn. Not sure. Well, thanks everyone that's hanging around today. Apologies for the horrific, well, it's not horrific, but like the pretty sloppy play so far. I'm traditionally quite sloppy playing 4-colour decks, which I'm not really used to playing. And I'm also quite sloppy playing control decks, like Grixis-esque control decks anyway, if anyone's previously watched this stream. So, plus I've had a break of about a week, and yeah, just pretty loosey-goosey at the moment. So, I think this is just an easy play, the Thopter Foundry. Honestly. I could try and Strix into a Thoughtseize or a Bolt though, because this kind of smells like they're gonna go play another guy next turn, convoke out Hogak, then therapy with the Stitcher Supplier is kind of what it feels like they're gonna do. But I don't think playing the Strix hoping to hit something necessarily prevents that, because I need to hit 2 bolts or 2 Thoughtseizes, and the Thoughtseize won't necessarily even prevent that. So I think I'm better off just getting this Foundry into play, in all honesty. I think this is probably just better. And then now they're just gonna therapy the Karn, which is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's better than nothing. And we've got a second Strix, which they don't know about. So they'll therapy the Karn. We've got a second Strix, which they therapied last turn. So the Strix seems... having this left over seems good for us against what they're doing, based on what they therapied last turn. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. That's not good for us at all. So this is going to be Therapy Karn, I would imagine, since it's the only target they know about. Yep. So that kind of sucks because we can't get bridge, but we could just draw another one as well. Hex Mage, great. So they just have everything. I mean, that's what the deck has, right? So it's just turbo depths without the... it's just depths without the tutors and just Hogak shoved in there. So let's play another Strix. At least we get 1,000,000 blockers. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. As long as they don't have removal for the Strix, we should be all good. So play the Vista. Is there any way they can get rid of the removal for the Strix? I don't think so. I don't think so. And do we even get bridge? Do we not just get sword? Because sword wins the game and deals with Dark Depths, whereas bridge doesn't. But bridge does stop Hogak. I guess we just want to do what we normally do, which is get the sword first. Or do we just play a second Strix this turn? Because the big problem is we play this and they've got removal. We're dead. They need to have another therapy or another hand disruption spell to sort of prevent this. This is kind of a tough choice. I kind of like just playing the Strix here. I kind of like just playing the Strix. Because then we've got 2 blockers which we can sack to the Foundry. So we have to dodge hand disruption for 1 turn. But how likely are they to have removal? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be that likely. And if they've got, I suppose also, if they have crop rotation into Sajiri Step, that beats Strix and Thopters anyway. So I actually need to go Karn and I need to get Bridge. Because we need to stop them being able to get Sajiri Step. So we want to get them one window for Sajiri Step. And removal, I think, is less likely. I don't know. I think giving them one turn to kill us is okay. Is our best line through this. And then we can get a Bridge. Then we don't have to worry about Marit Lage or Hogak ever again. And after that, let's get a Swamp. Yeah, I think we're just going to play Karn. Get a Bridge, pass the turn. Actually, no, we don't want to get a Bridge, right? Because they could Thoughtseize the Bridge. So we want to go Karn, get Sword, then get the Bridge next turn. That's what we want to do. Get the Sword this turn. Next turn we can get... next turn we can get Bridge. And then we're all good. And we just have to hope that they don't have Sajiri Step this turn. Which if they do, then there's nothing we could have done about that anyway. So we're playing around Sajiri Step in the long run. And we're also hoping they just don't have removal this turn. Which they probably just have. I bet they just have removal or something. I bet they just have like Decay or something. Ghost Quarter, doesn't matter. Here comes a Decay. Crop rotations. They just had Sajiri Step, so nothing we can do about that. Which sucks. Yeah. So we couldn't play around this. Even if we had the Strix, we'd only make blue things. So there's nothing we could have done at all. So that just sucks. But I think we took the right line based on trying to play around this in the long run. They just had like absolutely everything. We did draw a second Karn, to be fair. But I think we didn't make any mistakes that game. I think that was pretty close. Like we basically had them dead next turn because we could have gotten a Bridge. But never mind. So in the first game we did make a mistake, which ultimately I don't think made any difference because they just had, again, everything. And then but it was still sloppy. And then in the first match, we definitely could have won that if we'd been a bit tighter, but we were also running low on time, so never mind. Been some fun games though. So it definitely feels like this is competitive at the moment. I didn't feel like we were, oh my god, what can we possibly do? It felt like we had strong outs and lines that we were working towards, and we just didn't quite get there. Partly based on pilot competence and partly based on variance. Little column A, little column B there. Definitely, we probably should be 1-1, I think, probably would have been a fairer result than 0-2, but we are where we are. I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. It is definitely warming up here in the UK. We should be hitting record temperatures this week, which will be fun for everybody, I'm sure. We might just play this list again, honestly. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I think getting back into the swing of things, I'll be able to play this a bit better on the next run through, and I'll probably play this in a league in between streaming as well, which will be fun. So I think I've been pretty impressed so far. This is a mulligan. Oh, the London mulligan's so good. We'll keep this. This is a fantastic hand, and we will get rid of probably just one of these lands. I think we'll probably just get rid of a Vista. Like, look at this. Look at this 6. That looks so good. Yeah, so like both those matches, we definitely had a lot of tools to win. We just didn't quite get there based on a number of factors. But it didn't feel like the deck itself was the problem. Okay, so this could be Elves. Foothills kind of smells... Guess it could be anything at this point. That was a good draw. So let's just play a... We could also waste the Arbor, but that doesn't seem amazing. I think we're just going to play a Polluted Delta and pass the turn. Unfortunately, we have to get a basic with the Vista. But that should be fine, because we can play Wrenn and get back the Delta. So the Wrenn should resolve, which is good. So next time I'm going to go Wrenn, get back the Delta, and... Then we can go from there. And then the turn after, we can potentially kill something with the Wrenn and Wasteland them. Or whatever. Okay, so it is elves. It's pretty interesting. So the Wrenn's not doing anything at the moment. I don't really want to stall on mana development though. So the Wrenn can't do anything yet because it just dies next turn, regardless of what we do. But if they kill it next turn, they can't. No, I don't know. They'd have to attack with everything, but they could just draw another land. So you've got 3 mana at the moment. We can't. There's nothing. The only way we can beat Natural Order is with a Wasteland, or if we just play Wrenn and down tick on a Dryad Arbor, which might be better because that means we could just go Trot Badlands, play Wrenn, down tick on a Dryad Arbor, and accept that, and hope they don't have Natural Order. Yeah, fair enough. We could also just do. I was going to say we could also just Strix as well. Yeah, all right. We'll go Badlands Trop. Badlands Trop, play Strix, hope they don't have Natural Order. Because we have to, like, the rate to stop them having Natural Order is pretty expensive in terms of our resources. We have to either go down a land drop or we have to waste a Wrenn, which doesn't seem particularly appealing. Yeah, you're right. That is definitely, in terms of long-term prospects, seems a lot nicer. So yeah, Strix into Wrenn does make a lot more sense, because then we can go. Yeah, that does make a lot more sense. Agreed. Yeah, I guess like the long-term game plan, like this should just win the game pretty much. Because if we can block this can basically just win the game. Because we can go Strix, and we can go Wrenn, plus Wasteland and Arbor, plus Shoot an Arbor, and then we can Strix to block the Sentinel. So we just have to hope they don't have Natural Order this turn. And to be honest, if we can only play around Natural Order for 1 turn anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to play around that, because they just wait a turn and do it the turn after. And we could even draw Force off the Strix as well, so this is actually a better line all the way around, I think. We drew a Bolt, which is fine. So please don't Natural Order us. Please don't Natural Order us.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for.
Just let us untap with a Wrenn and Six. This is Ooze. Okay, so that's pretty annoying, but we can bolt the Ooze. We can bolt the Ooze next turn. So losing the Delta is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now we can still bolt the Ooze. That's fine. That's all fine. Okay, so they're basically just on the value plan at the moment. So we're going to bolt the Ooze. We could bolt the Ooze and play the Foundry, I guess, at this point. That might be fine. Or we could just bolt the Ooze and play a Wrenn and Six off a Prismatic Vista too. That still works. Okay, taking a draw. Right, so yeah, Wrenn 6 plus Bolt. Okay. The only problem with that is I have to get a basic mountain or a basic forest. But that's probably just fine. So I have to get a basic mountain, which is probably just fine. Let's bolt this. Yes. Yeah, we do want to just get bodies off the board. You're certainly right. And then next turn we can start thinking about doing other stuff. Okay, that's fantastic because they didn't eat the Polluted Delta. So let's play Vista. And do they play 3 Arbors? So we're going to uptick with the Wrenn and Six, I take it then. Yes. They just play 2. Okay, so am I not? Oh, that's not an elf, is it? No, never mind. All right, so we'll just kill one of the yeah, we'll just kill one of the guys. That's fine. Let's kill this guy. Pass a turn. And then next turn we can play Foundry plus Wasteland plus uptick. So we're in a good spot here, I would say. Could still get natural order out of the game. Hermit Druid. Okay, that's also bad for us. That is also bad for us. We can kill that next turn though. Cradle. Okay, so this is not good for us at all. Rex Sage. Okay, yep, makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, so we're going to lose the Wrenn and Six, which is fine. But this hopefully is all they've got going on. So now we can just go Karn, get Thopter Foundry, get Sword of the Meek, and we should be all good. We could also Brainstorm and then Wasteland the Cradle, but I think they've not got any engines going. We have a second Karn. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think this is just play Karn, get Sword of the Meek. That's still quite slow. These are all... Oh no, no, they're not all 1-drops. We just don't really have anything good to get at the moment. I think we just... I hope they remain slow. We really needed a Deluge in the 75. That was such an oversight on my part. Alright. Let's play Wasteland out. Let's get a Karn. I mean, they've got enough mana anyway because they've got the Hermit Druid, so wasting them doesn't do anything. Let's just play this Karn out. Get a Sword of the Meek. And hope they just don't kill us quickly. Yeah, there's nothing else worth getting, so... Yeah, but the Engineered Explosive only kills the Druid and the Sentinel. I guess that cuts them off the mana, but I could do that this turn or another turn anyway. I don't know. Second Hermit Heritage Druid. Now I guess that's more attractive. Oh, watch us just get dumpstered this turn. It doesn't matter if we die this turn anyway. There's nothing we could have done. Great. So they just had the I guess they've just drawn the natural order, I would assume. So that's kind of super punishment for not getting bridge, I guess. Oh no, there's nothing we could have done anyway. Okay, fine. So there's nothing we could have done this turn. We're just dead. They just drew natural order. I'm pretty sure they must have just drawn that then, because they would have done it last turn otherwise. So we dead.
Wow, what do you say after that one? Brutal, savage, wrecked. Absolutely taken
Right,
down.
I'll be back quickly. I've just got someone at the door. Whew, tell you what, it's really warmed up. Right, let's crack on with sideboarding. So, we kind of just got elves there. Nothing we could really do about that. So, not much to bring in. Thoughtseize is fine. Return to Nature doesn't really do anything. Triumph doesn't really do anything. We haven't really got a lot to cut though, to be honest. We could maybe cut the 2 decays. These are probably the most awkward things. Oh no, we could cut... Oh no, hang on. Cut the Triumph. And then we could maybe cut the Kolaghan's Command. Those are probably fine. Because that's the most... Those are the most awkward removal spells left in the deck. And then we've got 4/4s, which you kind of need. Narset, Leovold, Stop, Glimpse. Strix is fine. Wrenn's great. Thopter Foundry's slow, but fine. Yeah, I think we need them because they're blue. I don't think you could... The sort of drawback with this list is you can't really cut the Strix, really, ever. Which can be a bit rough sometimes, but I think this is okay. Elves probably is not one of the best matchups. I think you basically just have to rely on Wrenn and Bolt. And they had a pretty good sequence there because we did play around... Wouldn't bother with Thoughtseize. Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. Sometimes they keep hands that can be picked apart though, so... Alright, this is probably just fine. Board is more important than hand, that's true. The fact I just don't have Deluge I think is super bad for this list. I think this is okay though, so we can get an island on turn 1, play an Astrolabe, and I think we'll see how this goes. That does make sense. That does make sense. We'll cut them. If we get to a game 3, we'll cut those. Well, that gives us something to work towards at least. We could do with some more lands though. So next turn we'll play a Strix off of... I'm not sure what. Maybe a Bayou? Symbiote, okay. Second Sword of the Meek's kind of rough. Could have cut a Sword of the Meek as well actually, I guess. Although there's not a lot to bring in still. So probably just getting... I guess with the Astrolabe, I could also just get a basic Swamp here as well. But that just cuts fetchables down from the Vista, so that probably doesn't matter. I don't want to get choked either, that's a good point. I guess, yeah, okay. What I could have done, which might have been more clever, is to try and... Oh no, they've probably got Ufi in the sideboard. I bet they've got Ufi in the sideboard. I was going to say, if we'd like got all non-islands, and then we could make blue with the Astrolabe, that plays around choke. But they probably got Ufi in the sideboard with Green Sun Zenith, and then we can't do that. So let's just get a Swamp. Get a basic Swamp. Or we can just get like a Bayou. We can just get a Bayou. Yeah, we'll get a Bayou. Or we could also get a Badlands. What did we cut? We cut a Kolaghan's Command. We didn't bring in a Return to Nature. 5. We've got the same number of... We've got more green than red, so let's get a Bayou. We can make red with this anyway. And let's cast this Strix. And hope we don't get choked. Guess we've got a couple of turns. Okay, that's not the worst draw, I guess. We need lands, though, is the main problem here. So next turn we'll go Astrolabe and then hold up Bolt. And then we can bolt the Symbiote. Okay, so they're just going to go for Visionary. Which makes sense. So we can't bolt the Visionary because they just return it with the Symbiote. That's not a bad draw at all, but we need a land. So let's start with this guy. Try and hit a land. We did not. In that case... we probably just pass and then we can Symbiote. I guess we probably just want to bolt. Nah, they can return. Okay, I guess we just pass at this point. We'd like to bolt the Symbiote. Okay, so we'll do this now, because now they don't get any more activations out of this. Because you don't want them to be able to do it on their next turn. I think this is fine. I think that's fine. Whatever. So if we can draw another land, the Leovold is going to be quite good for the meantime, if they're going slow. We really need to hit a land though. So if they have a second symbiote, this could be a Thoughtseize. Quirion Ranger, okay. Okay, so another Strix isn't what we wanted. So let's just cast a Strix, I guess. Hope to hit a land. Although that's pretty bad at this point. Foundry isn't really what we wanted. Whew. And I suppose you probably missed some points of damage as well. Yeah, no worries. Take it easy, Pete. Catch you in a bit. Yep, that's pretty rough. Not having Deluge is super hard here. I'm not sure what the point of this attack is, because they'll just return this if we block it with the Strix anyway. Yeah, there's like no point doing that. Yep. So if we'd hit a land for Leo, this wouldn't be possible, and we'd be in a really good spot. Unfortunately, we just haven't hit any lands. Despite having 4 draws, and Thopter Foundry is just so slow. So I guess Thoughtseize isn't the worst thing to be doing. So you can get rid of a natural order or something horrible. We really needed a land though, so we're probably not going to win this one based on the fact that they've got 2 Zeniths. It's possible I could have just played another Strix, but I think trying to check to see if they got 1 payoff card is worth it there. Problem is, he just gets to draw so many cards this next turn. They might even Zenith first, I guess. I don't know. Visionary first. Okay, now I guess they'll make a bunch of mana. Or they might Zenith for something, then make a bunch of mana. Although I guess that's going to be their payoff, so maybe not yet. Quirion Ranger, that was a good draw. And they have a second Cradle in hand as well. That's super rough. Yep. Man, if only we'd drawn a land. Man, then Leovold would be so good. It's kind of our fault though. Played kind of sloppily in the first 2 rounds, so now we're coming up against something that's quite tough for us to deal with. This is definitely a matchup where having this garbage in your deck doesn't really help. So now we're probably just dead. So I'm just going to auto yield at this point because we haven't actually got any interactions we can take. They haven't played a land yet this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually we might be dead very soon. We could be dead this turn. Okay, they're just going to play a... So they drew a forest, fair enough. I thought they might just play a Cradle, and then they might be able to kill us this turn with the Zenith, but maybe they can't get enough guys out first. So this might be Oofy. This might be Collector Oofy. Could just be another Visionary, I guess. Depends what they're going to go for. It is Collector Oofy, yep. Makes sense. But we do have a Snapcaster Mage if we draw a red source. Which we obviously did not. God's sake. Ah, jeez. Definitely, as a first draft, there are definitely some aspects of this deck that could do with some improvement. I think it needs more cantrips, for one thing. That's definitely true, and a fair criticism. It does have a lot of 2-drops. It's been one of these. And it does need a deluge. Absolutely 100% needs a deluge. So it's possible we could have Force of Willed the Visionary, but I don't think that's worth it. I think we just want to wait till they hit a payoff card. But then that's also possibly wrong. Maybe I should have Force of Willed the Visionary, actually. Oh no, okay, now we can Force of Will this. Okay, so this worked out. Alright, so we're going to Force of Will this guy. And we're going to pitch one of these guys. And hopefully this turn we draw a land for this Leo, which means we need to draw a black, green, or blue source naturally. They've probably just got like a natural order or something in hand anyway at this point, so we're probably still just dead, since we only have one force. Like, they've drawn so many cards, and they can keep drawing cards, because they have this second Cradle, I think. I'm pretty sure they've got the second Cradle in their hand still. That we're just probably still just dead. Missing the land drop for this Leovold on turn 3 has absolutely killed us. But as I say, I think despite that, the shell of the deck does feel decent. Like, it don't feel like, you know, with some tweaks we could definitely be better, but I'm not sat here going, wow, we've got no way to compete whatsoever. This is definitely a rougher matchup for sure. Okay, so they just found another Green Sun Zenith, whatever. This is definitely a rougher matchup for sure, but it is what it is, really. We'll just see what they get, and then concede. Nice. All right. So yeah, that's a tough matchup anyway. I think doesn't help by not having a Zenith. We probably could do with some more cantrips in here somehow. It's possible that the Snapcaster Mages, looking at how the games have played out so far, it's possible that the Snapcaster Mages are just too clunky in the deck. Maybe we just want like 2 Snapcaster Mage. Like the third one's probably a bit unnecessary. So let's put like things here that are kind of medium. So the third Snapcaster Mage is possibly medium. We could also potentially cut one of the swords, because you never really want to draw more than one of those. So that would give us like 2 Ponders, or maybe 2 Preordains. Might be better to have Preordains, in all honesty, since we're looking for specific things most of the time. Like later on in the game. Like, we're not necessarily I don't know. That's kind of an interesting one. I'm kind of thinking that it sort of plays similarly to like the Planeswalker Heavy Grixis Control version, so Preordain may be better. But anyway, we could potentially cut a Snapcaster Mage and a Sword for 2 more cantrips. That might be a good place to go. Increases the blue count by 1, and increases the blue count by 1 and reduces the CMC. We could also cut a main deck Triumph for a Deluge, because we don't necessarily need to worry about the Triumph so much if we're relying on the Foundry combo, in which case we could almost just, I don't know, 2 sword. I don't know if 2 sword is like too many or not, but there's like some things here we could potentially look at cutting. I mean, the main attraction was basically like Astrolabe, Strix, this combo, Karn, and then you can kind of, with the 4 colour, you can kind of fit some other stuff in amongst it. So you've got the Wrenn and Six, which also works nicely, Abrupt Decay, so forth. It's like, it's super greedy, but I don't know, it's kind of fun. And I think Thopter Foundry is relatively well positioned at the moment. Like, it beats a lot of stuff. We've been a little bit unlucky to play against 2 Oofy decks, I would say, in a row. But on the whole, actually no, 3 Oofy decks in a row, right? What did we lose in the first round? Allurin. So they had Oofy. Yeah, I think Oofy 3 rounds in a row. Did they? Or maybe not in the Hogak one. I don't think we played against it then. But we played against at least 2 Oofy decks. So it's been tough. Okay, against someone on the trophy board, so in for a rough one here. Okay, this seems fine. So we can go. We've got a force or something obnoxious. We're going to lean heavily on Wrenn and Six here. Okay, Death and Taxes. Possible I should have forced that, I guess, but I don't know. I don't think it matters too much at this point. We'll just play a Prismatic Vista and pass the turn. Yeah, it's possible I should have forced that, because I can't Wrenn and Six any of this stuff now. I kind of just let that resolve really without thinking about it too much. This probably can eat a Force of Will though. What do we pitch is the question. Do we pitch Foundry or do we pitch Mage? I think we'll pitch Snapcaster Mage, because this isn't doing anything at the moment. And Thopter Foundry gives us a way to potentially just win the game later. Okay, that's a pretty good one. So I think for now, we could just triumph it this turn. That might be fine. And then next turn we can Wrenn and Six something through a Daze. Not through a Daze, through a Thalia. That's interesting. I kind of just want to triumph it this turn, in all honesty. So play a second Vista. The downside to this is we won't be able to cast the Wrenn and Six. So maybe we do just... maybe I think we have to triumph it, because then we can Wrenn and Six one of their 1-drops, of which they play loads. It does mean they can keep us off of the colour we need for Wrenn and Six, though. But then we could play the Thopter Foundry and then it doesn't matter so much, I guess. I don't know. Is it more important to play around getting ported? I mean, they'd want to cast something next turn anyway. They're not going to port us next turn, are they? So let's go... If we remove this, they're not going to port us next turn. So let's get the forest for now. I should just get the mountain, because they're less likely to... I feel like they're more likely to port the swamp than the mountain, but they might port the forest over the swamp. Let's do this, and pass the turn. And then next turn we can Wrenn and Six, potentially killing something, and then we can play a Foundry or something the following turn. So hopefully this is just like a Thalia. It's a second Stoneforge. That's kind of rough. So now we need to try and draw Thopter Foundry. But I think getting the Mother of Runes off the board was kind of crucial. Batterskull, yeah, that's fine. If we could draw a Wasteland, that'd be really good. We drew a Tropical Island. Okay, so now we're not in the best spot. So let's go Tropical Island, play Wrenn, uptick. So this is where, well, I guess, like Snapcaster Mage wouldn't even be that good with Triumph here, to be honest, because they just sacrifice the Batterskull token, I suppose. Okay. Whew, that's pretty rough. That is pretty rough, actually. Just drawing lands the last 2 or 3 turns. So we may as well play the Vista. We'll tick up on this Vista. Play the Thopter Foundry. Which means we're going to lose the... Wrenn next turn? Well, not quite. We're not going to lose the Wrenn quite next turn. So this will go to 1. So you've got one more turn to find a way to deal with the Batterskull before the Wrenn dies. That's not true because they can just attack with a Stoneforge Mystic. They can just attack with a Stoneforge Mystic. I don't think the Wrenn is worth sacrificing the Foundry for, in all honesty. We've got enough mana at this point. If we had a Wasteland in hand, that would be different, because we could just Wasteland them and get it back. But I think as it stands, it's just not worth it. We really want to get to the combo here, and then we can just kill them. Watch this be... Okay, Vile. I was going to say, watch this just be... that's still horrifically bad for us. That was a misclick on their part. Unfortunately, that means they can't port us. They obviously did not mean to do that. Okay, that's not even very good at the moment. I think I'm just going to play this Snow-Covered Island for now, and we'll just have to go for Snapcaster Triumph. I think we'll do it now, because I don't want to get ported. It means they get rid of the Mystic, but if they draw another equipment, that's kind of good for us anyway. And it means once we kill this, they can't get it back so easily. So I think this is fine to do now. I don't think there's any reason to wait. So sack the Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, because potentially they could also just, that probably means they don't have another land, because you would imagine they would sacrifice the Germ token if they had another land. I think, because they're just going to try. I guess they're just going to try and kill us with this now, which is fine. Unless they have like another Stoneforge Mystic, they have a Revoker. Obviously, they have a Revoker. Drawn a lot of lands this. Just don't even talk about lands. Don't even talk about lands. Let's play the Vista and pass the turn. And they've got another Mother of Runes. Fantastic. Giver of Runes, sure. Which can't be killed by Wrenn and Six. Which makes... This is actually probably a good reason to play this in your deck at the moment, because it can't be killed by Wrenn and Six. Yep. So we're almost dead at this point. I don't know that we have very many outs, honestly. Karn plus Bridge would be an out, although it isn't because they can just port us. That's a really good port on their part, because we can't get a red source with the Vistas. So yeah, that's a really good port. I don't think there's anything we can do now, because they're going to attack us next turn. I think we're just going to concede it, because we just draw another one of these, so there's nothing we can do about this at this point, which kind of sucks. I don't think we've got any draws there. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we can do much, because we're not going to be able to draw a Karn and port and play through port, I think, in time. So yeah, we don't have a lot for this matchup, unfortunately. This is probably fine. This is very good. None of these really do anything. Thoughtseize is probably okay, but what do we... I don't think we're going to board anything out for that. Wrenn is very good. So Leovold is not amazing. Leovold is certainly not amazing. It's possible that we just cut Leovold and maybe Narset. That might be okay. This is a little bit... This is going down to like 18 blue sources for force. We also just might not need 2 edicts, honestly. We could also just maybe just do this and keep Leovold in because he's a big body. And try this. That's probably just wrong though. Let's try this. Let's try this. That was kind of a rough one. We just drew a bunch of lands there, so... And no wastelands as well. So I don't think we made any real mistakes. Okay, so we just got the combo this game, which is fantastic. So we'll keep this. And I think we're going to assemble the combo before we play... Oh, I don't know, that's hard actually. That is hard. So let's just see what they do, I guess. I guess we do want to play Wrenn first. It just means that we need Wrenn to survive for 2 turns before we play the Foundry, is the downside there. Because these cast off of... This is all our 4 colours in 2 pips. That's unfortunate, there's nothing we can do about it. So we probably are just playing Wrenn because it's just better in the matchup at the moment. That was a really good draw. Shame we didn't draw on turn 1. Okay, so that makes things a lot easier. So as long as they don't Thalia us next turn, which they probably just will. So we're going to go Forest, then Mountain. Yeah, so next turn, if we don't get Thalia'd next turn, we can play Astrolabe and we can play Sword of the Meek. If we do get Thalia'd, we're probably just going to play Astrolabe because in the turn after we can go Foundry. Please don't play Thalia. Smells like a Thalia. Mystic. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't matter at all. Although Sophie's pretty rough because we can't block it with the Thopters, which is kind of hilarious. So I think, yeah, I think Sword of Fire and Ice is a good get there. This is good because now we can actually play Foundry this turn. So get an island. Let's start by... We probably should have started by doing this. Let's play the Astrolabe. Draw a card. Get an island with this. That's not what we wanted to draw at all. And then next turn we can start making Thopters. How's it going, Pete? Yeah, it's super warm. Not too bad. We flooded out in the first game against Death and Taxes. We didn't really have any decision points. I don't think, really. Okay. Well, we have a way to beat that. That's okay. And the Rest in Peace is currently not massively attractive. But other than that, if we can get the Karn to survive, we should be in an okay spot. Let's see. That's not really... I guess the Kolaghan's command's not bad here. The Kolaghan's command's not bad here. Hey, thanks for the raid. Ice Star Geeling. It's not a bad tea, actually. Welcome, folks. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you had a good stream. We're playing some 4-colour Karntrol, so you can check the cardboard live for the deck list. It's been kind of loosey-goosey in the first couple of rounds, and we're currently battling our way through a game 2. We're a game down against Death and Taxes. So we'll see how this goes. But it's kind of a fun deck list, so I think with a bit more tweaking it might be good. It's not... The deck hasn't felt bad. We've just been a little bit unfortunate, I think, with some things. Okay, so... We can't currently Sword of the Meek because they got the Rest in Peace. So we could just play the Karn this turn. I kind of want a Kolaghan's Command the Vial, though, before it ticks up to 3. And we can also Brainstorm. Yeah, Brainstorm plus K Command. Yep, that makes sense. I like it. Let's do that. Yeah, that makes the most sense, doesn't it? I think. So we want to get rid of the Wrenn and Six. We'll get rid of this Tropical Island. We'll keep the second Karn because that should seal up the win. And then we're all good. And we can wait to Kolaghan's Command in their upkeep. Let's tick this up on nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't quite have 6 lands yet. You do it now? Alright, we'll do it now. Fair enough. We'll get a swamp, just in case something happens to the Astrolabe. Oh, and we can kill the Stoneforge, can't we? Yeah, of course we can. So let's do destroy artifact, deals 2 damage to any target. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good shout. Good shout. For those just joining, if you've not seen me stream before, I'm not very good. Alright, that's kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Holy jeez. Alright. Alright. You kidding me? Oh my goodness. What on earth? Well, on the plus side, we do have a Karn, so
Wow, what do you say after that one? Brutal, savage.
Oh man, alright.
Absolutely
Alright.
taken down.
This is symmetrical though, isn't it? Lands on the battlefield. Okay, yeah, so alright. Not the best. Can we actually live though? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're not dead next turn to 1 attack. So I think we can survive with a Karn just about. This Snapcaster looks so bad at the moment. It's not symmetrical? No, it is the top half symmetrical, right? Because we've got the text on our thing, so they can't wasteland us, which doesn't really matter. But we're the only ones that can't play stuff in the graveyard, so it's like half symmetrical. Alright, so let's just play this Karn out. I guess we could draw a card first, actually. Let's crack this, get an island, draw a card, see what we draw. Really regretting not having Deluges in the deck. Then we can play Karn, and we should hopefully survive next turn. That's not the worst one to draw there, because we need to try and find a land anyway. So let's play this. Get a bridge, and then we can start emptying our hand, tick this up. Oh, I could have also just got engineered explosives. Maybe the explosives was the right thing to get there, actually. I probably should have got engineered explosives, because that kills Rest in Peace. Nah, actually, I suppose maybe not. That's kind of a hard one. That also just kills our Thopter Foundry, which is kind of what we're hoping to win with eventually. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this is fine because we can play. Or I don't know. We might actually not be able to play enough things out under bridge. So we take 5. We take 10 this turn. Go to 5. Then the Germ won't be able to attack next turn. And they're going to kill these guys anyway. That's fine. Alright, so this is all good because we've got a Karn in hand. So we should be okay here, I think. Because we can Triumph. We can't Snap Triumph. But we can block with the Snapcaster. So that's a terrible draw. So yeah, so we can stop. Let's start by casting the Triumph and see what they do. And then we can play the bridge. And they should sack the Germ, which I'm sure they will. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we'll play this out. We could also just play a sword, but this is more mana efficient anyway, so let's just do this. Pass the turn. Oh, they can equip that. They can equip the Battle Scroll next turn. Oh, I'm such an idiot. No, they won't do that because it can't attack. Whatever, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. So they can always bounce it and recast it at some point. We need to get it out of our hand anyway. That's all okay. Maybe I should have just cast the Sword of the Meek. I don't know. Maybe that's just loose. So next time we can go Snapcaster block. We could just Snapcaster double block something as well. That's also possibly a good thing to do. So going to recast the Battle Skull, that's fine. So we can Snapcast to double block the Stoneforge Mystic. I think I like that the most at the moment. And if we draw another land, we can do that and play the Sword of the Meek out, which would be fantastic. Okay, perfect. So, start with this. Play the Sword of the Meek. And now we can double block the Stoneforge Mystic. But we'll put the first one in during their combat step so that they can't attack with Atomic. Oh, this is pretty terrifying. I wonder what this is. Revoker? Probably Revoker. No Thalia. Alright, that's fine. Second Rest in Peace, that's also fine. Okay, this Engineered Explosives is going to be fantastic. Really? It's not symmetrical? Oh, no. Sorry, you are right. Yeah, I am just an idiot. It isn't symmetrical. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I am that stupid. That's fine though. This is also fine. So we can kill the Mystic, play the Karn, get an Engineered Explosives, and then eventually, so it kills the Thopter Foundry, but eventually we'll be able to get both of these back with the Karn anyway, so could be worse, I think. Let's play this guy. Oh, we've got the Thalia, haven't we? Unfortunately, it means that the Sword of the Meek goes to exile, but as I say, we can get over a couple of turns, we'll be able to get enough to get rid of all of that. So we'll just do this, and then we should be in a good spot. Oh, I guess that's also a possibility. That's true. Oh, because to stop them attacking or something? Yeah, that makes sense. So they don't know what we're getting as well, I guess. Yeah, that might have been better. That may well have been better, because then I don't have the risk of having stuff stuck in my hand. Okay, so let's cast this for 1. Oh no, we can. Hang on. How do we do this? I can't remember how you cast this flipping thing for. No, because I can cast it for I can cast it for x equals 1, and then it has 2 counters on it, right? So x equals 1, but it should have 2 counters because it's 2 colours of mana. For each colour of mana spent to cast it. So this should be fine. This should have 2 Sunburst counters on it. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So we're all good. Let's pop this guy now. I guess we probably just want to wait till their end step. This can tick up on nothing for the time being. And then we've got a Force of Will too. Actually, no, I do want to. No, I don't want to. No, I do want to do it now because they might have. They might have Flicker Wisp, right? They might have Flicker Wisp, so I need to do it now. If we get Flicker Wisp, then we're just in big trouble. So this is fine. Yep, that's fine. That doesn't matter. I think it's actually right to do it now because of Flicker Wisp. Feel like that was actually quite close to punting that. Oh, they can't use their vial. Yes, they can't use their vial. Of course they can't. Yep. This is the first league I've played with the Karn, so still getting used to that. That's fine. So the port doesn't matter too much because we've got the Astrolabes. That's fine. So now we can get... probably just the Foundry at this point. Since we're not going to be casting Lattice anytime soon. Worried about timing out though is the biggest problem. Other creatures you can only get +0/+1, sure. That's really weird. I think I'm going to bolt that, just... I guess I don't want to bolt that, doesn't really do anything. Although it gets cards out of my hand. Maybe that was a punt. Alright, I'll bolt it now, so I'm spending mana. That's fine. I think this turn I'm going to tick up and do that because I'd like to keep this in play just because it stops their vial, and then we'll just pass the turn. I think that's fine. I guess Veteran Armourer for Plague Engineer makes sense, yeah. Oh, Dread of Night. Yeah, that's also true. I was going Chase. Alright, so they got something in hand, we don't know what it is. Probably a plough or some rubbish. We don't want to time out. That's fine. That's a good draw. Okay, sweet. Let's get our... Sword of the Meek action going. They played out 2 Rest in Pieces as well, which is super nice for us. And then we can just go like this, cast this guy, and then we should be all good. Second Force of Virtue. Sure. We've got a bridge, so whatever, I guess. Alright, I'm going to make a bunch of these now before we get Surgicaled, since they've got no cards in hand. I don't think I care about this Wasteland. I guess that's not true because we could... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we could Mycosynth Lattice them at some point, so I guess I should keep the fetch land for now. Since we can eventually... If we draw one more land, we can... Yeah, okay, if we draw one more land, we can Mycosynth Lattice them in like 2 turns, so I will keep this uncracked. The extra damage isn't really worth it. Sure, that doesn't matter. So we just need to win in like a couple of turns. So a land this turn would be fantastic, actually. A land they can't Wasteland, sorry. So that's fine. Yes. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Attack both of these guys. We'll cast the sword because you don't want to have a load of stuff in hand. I think we'll play the Strix first though. Okay, that was a good one. So we can do this. We can Wasteland their waste. We could just Wasteland their port, I guess. But I think we'll Wasteland their waste. I guess we'll Wasteland the port. That's probably fine because that stops them making us click through things. And we'll play this guy. And we'll pass the turn. Okay, so next turn. Oh, I forgot to update. Oh, I forgot to uptick Karn. Ah, I forgot to uptick Karn. Ah, God damn it. Ah, That's the high quality content that you come here for, I'm afraid. And we're going to time out in the third game for sure now. Alright, well, we have a winning line, which we are probably going to lose to now, but never mind. Sort of far nice. Alright, well, that's going to eat. That doesn't actually matter. That actually just doesn't matter. Let's pass a turn. Uptick Karn. That's a good draw. Because we've got the Karn in play. That's fine. Let's get in with a bunch of guys. Try not to completely shove this in the garbage can. Make a bunch of guys now before they time out. Before they draw surgical even. Oh, whatever. That was a mistake on my part. I did that while I was clicking because then I'm more likely to misclick. So that just happened. That's pretty sneaky. Wasteland my fetch while I'm in the middle of clicking so that I misclick. That is definitely what that was. Joke's on them. Right, we'll hold that Wasteland. Get in for a bunch. Pass a turn. I don't know how quickly we'll be able to win game 3. We're going to have to be like super disciplined somehow. They're actually just dead on board anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the Mycosynth Lattice won't matter. Because we can just kill them with Thopters next turn, I believe. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. Sure. Yep. Yep. So they should just be dead. Eventually. Nice. Right, finally. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Poor old laptop is not having a good time here. Right, we're currently playing for we're currently playing for the 2-3. If we lose this, we'll be 0-4. Not, I think, because the deck's got any problem with it. We've run into 2 Green Suns Oofy decks, which has been a bit rough. And we played a little bit loosey-goosey in the first couple of rounds. And then we just got dumpstered by Elves in the last round. So, and then the first game of this round against Death and Taxes, we flooded out. So I think the record isn't representative of the deck. I don't think we change anything. I guess Thoughtseize is maybe more interesting. I don't know. I don't think we need to change anything, honestly. I think we just run it back and hope that we get a bit lucky. Everybody prepare yourselves for a timeout. I'm going to have to make sure I auto-yield super aggressively. But I'm not optimistic. This is the problem with me playing like control decks. I always time out when I'm streaming. This kind of sucks, but we'll keep it because, I don't know. What else are we going to really draw here? Sure. I don't know. This hand probably is probably a mulligan, but we've got lands. We've got a Strix. That was a horrific draw. I feel like we shouldn't flood out as much as we do with 21 lands, but this is excluding drawing Wrenn and Six. Like without drawing Wrenn and Six, we keep drawing a lot of lands. That's pretty rough. Yeah, how's it going, Cheesehead? We got 20 blue cards in the main deck, so I think that's fine. If you have a look at like the 4-color control lists that have been doing well recently, it's the same number of blue cards in that. It really is. It just looks less because Strix and Thopter Foundry are both blue cards. So it's easy to miss those sometimes. Alright, let's just auto yield through this. Yes, we've got 20 blue cards in the main deck, which is the same number that we have previously had. Okay, that's pretty rough. So hopefully we have a way to deal with that. We do not. We're drawing more lands. At this point, I think we're okay just to brainstorm. Not having a Deluge in this deck is super bad. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of one of these Swords of the Meek. Could also just get rid of this island of it, honestly. Problem is, these swords are probably worse than just lands. Play this and just try to remember not to crack the fetch. Get in for one. So try to remember to crack the fetch before we draw next turn. We're going to time out anyway, but this has not been a very quick draw. I think this is a cool deck though. It's been very fun. And again, like, it doesn't feel like the power level's lacking. It just feels like I've not played it as well as I necessarily could have done, which is probably a surprise to nobody. Yep, this sucks. I'm not sure what our best out is here, honestly. Let's crack this, get probably just a green source. Ah, more lands. I think I'm just going to... can't really brainstorm yet. Let's start by playing the Astrolabe, I guess, because that's just going to get worse and worse. We could also play a Strix, but they're just going to kill the Strix. Because we could draw a Bolt. So let's do Astrolabe off of these two, and then we might draw a Bolt. Yes, it does need to be quick decision making, which is not something I'm famously good at. Okay, that's not the worst draw in the whole world. Let's pass the turn. Get in for one. We basically need to find a decay for this GT. Yep. Unfortunately, I can't auto pass because I've got a Force of Will now. So I think next turn we're going to end step Snap Brainstorm. We'll pitch the Strix to the Force of Will. And then we'll try and find the decay with that, possibly. Problem is, we don't need they don't need to expose anything to Force of Will because this is just going to kill us. Oh Christ! That is not what we wanted to do. Have we just drawn the cards we put back? I have a feeling that we've managed to not shuffle away the cards we put back. I love when that happens. Yep. Yeah, I should have probably just mulled the opener. I think that was probably the mistake, in all honesty. At least we can Force of Will the Stoneforge Mystic. Although they can Wasteland our fetch land in response, which kind of sucks. Not worth doing. Fair enough. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. The Back to Nature is what we wanted. That's good. Let's crack this for a mountain. Force of Will this guy. And then we're kind of back in it, but we just don't have any time left. Sorry if I'm not looking at chat at the moment. Currently just trying not to get dumpstered. Right, auto yield. Yeah, no one's chatting, that's fair enough. Alright, so we can back to nature the GT. Although that just loses to... okay, so we're actually almost just dead on board as it is. So let's just do this now. And if they've got a Flicker Wisp, we're just dead. We're just dead anyway. I probably should have bolted the Thalia first, actually. That was a mistake. I definitely should have bolted the Thalia first. Yep. 100% should have bolted the Thalia first. Never mind. In the meantime, we will Wasteland this guy, just in case. Yep, sure. I don't think there's a chance. I don't think there's any way we can win the game. I think the only... because our opponent is going to make us time out anyway. I don't think we have a sequence of plays that we can reasonably make in 2 minutes that will... in 1 minute that will that will win the game, unfortunately. Yeah, but slamming Wrenn and Six won't win the game in 50 seconds. Let's do this. Probably play the Sword of the Meek and then pass the turn. Probably super loose tapping there of mana, but it doesn't really matter. That's not what I meant to cast. Let's do this, pass a turn. Oh, slam the F6. Sorry, that's what you meant. Yeah. I misread that. Alright, sweet. So we're not quite dead? We're not quite dead. We are dead? Does Recruiter kill us this turn? Maybe it does. Which is a shame, because I feel like, actually, if we had more time, we might be able to. We should be able to squeak out of this if we had more time. So that is a real shame, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Revoker, that's fine. Wrenn and Six, I don't even know what they named with that. Probably Foundry, probably Thopter Foundry. Yeah, makes sense. We can kill the Thalia. Recruiter comes back. They just get another Flicker Wisp. Maybe we don't have a chance. I guess it depends what we brainstorm into. Yeah, we are actually... I don't think there's actually a way we can win because, yeah, even if we... we can't kill enough things with the Flicker Wisp coming down. So they just managed to chain too many things together there. So we actually would have died even if we hadn't timed out. So it's possible that the opener should have been a mulligan, but we didn't really have enough time to make a decision. So yeah, so we'll do a quick recap. So for those of you that are still with us, hopefully you're enjoying yourselves despite the timeout, which is always painful. So this is what we're playing today. So 4-color Karntrol. So it's very similar to the 4-color, yeah, the 04 Dream. It's very similar to the 4-color lists that have been online, except instead of playing like 3-Plague Engineer, we've also cut the 3-Plague Engineer, cut a Leovold, cut some other stuff, cut the Ponders, and we've shoved some. So we've got like a third Snapcaster over here, Liliana's Triumph with a Sword. We've shoved Karn in there. We've got Foundry as well, and honestly, it's felt fine. This has actually just felt fine. I'll talk you through the matchup so far in just a second, but this has honestly felt fine. It's very fun too. But this is what I've been playing. And so, first round was against the Hogak Depths deck, which... No, it wasn't. It was against Nickfit. No, Allurin. It was against Allurin. First round was against Allurin, which we should have won in the third game, but I kind of punted there with how we played a Tormod's Crypt around Maliran, or whatever her name is, Malira. I can't remember. The Maliran of Clan something or other, whatever it is, that card that returns creatures. I didn't do something in the right timing there, but that was a pretty close match, and I think we should have definitely won that. The next one was against the Karn Hogak deck, not Karn Hogak, the Depths Hogak deck, which we have a lot of game against. I think they just had extremely good draws both games, and in the first game we had a point where we made a punt, but it didn't cost us the game, it was just a mistake. And the second game, I think we just kind of got ran over. But we definitely didn't feel like we were out of it. It just felt like they just had a better draw. This one was against Elves, which is a tough matchup because we don't have Toxic Deluge, and they also have Green Sun Zenith for Ufi. So this one wasn't that close. In all honesty, we just kind of flooded out and didn't do very well here. And then against Death and Taxes in the first game, we just flooded out. We honestly just flooded out. And then the second game, you saw the comeback, which took too long. And then the third game, even if we had enough time left, I don't think we would have squeaked that out. Although, that said, if we had more time, we probably would have mulliganed. But in any case, this is the first draft of this list. I've not really played it up to this point. I just wanted to give it a go. So we probably will play this again, I think. We'll see how it goes. It's a shame not to get a 2-3 because it'd be nice to get the 50 play points back, but never mind. But this will be on the YouTube channel afterwards, so definitely check that out. There's some other sweet stuff on there too. So very much encouraged to have a look at that. But yeah, so this is what we're doing today. So I will stream again this week. I don't know when yet. This is going to be the last match for today. So we'll stream again this week. I don't know when. Probably Thursday, I think I said earlier. So probably stream on Thursday. What we'll stream yet, I don't know. It's possible that we might stream something which includes the card Lightning Skelemental, because that seems like a bit of a meme and should be pretty fun. And there was a list that did quite well with that recently, which some friends in the London Legacy chat group kind of want to be played, so we might do that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think we'll probably stream on Thursday. But yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging around today anyway. It is very hot in the United Kingdom today. It is very hot indeed. We're getting up to like 30 plus degrees, which is not something that we're really very used to dealing with, so that's fun. The main reason why it's a bit tough is it's also extremely humid. So humidity is not something that UK dwellers are traditionally good at dealing with, and it's the main reason why we don't like the heat, because it gets hot and humid, which is like the worst combination. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, right, this is the last one, so thanks everyone for hanging around. Let's see if we can get a score on the board. I think it's been a lot closer than these results would indicate. We're on the play, which is good though. We'll mull that one. We will probably have to keep this one at this point. I think we need to get a bit lucky. I don't really want to go to 5. 90 degrees in Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's pretty rough. We've got the combo. I don't know. I think we've got to try and get lucky here. The problem is we don't get a scry though. We just have to naturally draw a land. I think we have to go to 5. I think we have to go to 5. Alright, this is workable, if not that great. So we'll get rid of the Karn, and we'll get rid of the Kolaghan's Command. And then we can start drawing stuff with the Astrolabe. So this is definitely better than the 5 in terms of actually being able to do things.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Once I've started my new job in London, I'm also planning to save up to get a new computer, because I'm currently streaming off of my laptop, which is what I've always done, but it's not the best. So eventually we'll look at building a desktop, which will make that a lot easier, a little bit more civilized. Certainly in this kind of temperature, the laptop gets hot. I have to use my hands for the hotkeys on the laptop. My hand gets quite hot, so it's not the best. And this laptop is, I don't know, like it's like 7 or 8 years old at this point. It was a pretty good one when it was first purchased, but yeah. All right, so this is probably just a Brainstorm. What do they do with the Ponder? They did not shuffle, so probably just Brainstorm here, try and find a land. Okay, that was good. So I don't really want to shuffle anything away here. What we might do... kind of want to keep this. The Leovold's going to be good next turn. It's possible we could get rid of the Strix. Because I could just play this Astrolabe. I could get rid of the Strix. I could get rid of both of these. But I kind of want to have a blue card to force this through. So maybe we just do this. Or maybe I keep the Strix to pitch. That's interesting as well. So I could put both of these back. Play the Delta. I could go Mage, Astrolabe, play the Delta. Or maybe we keep the Mage and get rid of the Astrolabe. Maybe that's fine. We can decide. I think we'll do this. Play the Delta. And we will see what they do before choosing what to... do. In which case, I probably should have put this on top and kept the Snapcaster to pitch. Don't know. But I think I'm going to draw. I think I'm going to draw the Snapcaster Mage's turn, just because it's something to pitch to the Force. And this turn, I'm going to play the Baleful Strix. Do I want to draw the Astrolabe? Is the question. Probably not. But then it does help fix mana. But I kind of need a land, really, don't I? I kind of want a land, that's what I'm looking for. So let's crack this and get a basic swamp. And then we can play the Strix through a Daze. This might get stifled as well. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we'll force this. And pitch the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, stifle didn't come up on my radar, though. It's a little bit too late. Okay, this is fine, I think. If we get dazed, that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, okay, that's kind of annoying. Because it means we can't get a basic swamp, but... as long as we don't get dazed, we might be okay. I assume we're going to get dazed at this point. We're not getting dazed. That's really good for us. Please draw a land. Okay. Oh no, it was going to be the Astrolabe, wasn't it? Yeah, because we didn't actually shuffle. Okay, that could have been worse, I think. Now we have to pray they don't have a Wasteland. This is why it's good to play Delta in your rug decks, because you don't think of Stifle that easily. Whereas if you go like Volcanic Island, Polluted Delta, of course it's going to be that. If you go like Volcanic Island, Polluted Delta, it's not so obvious. Whereas if you go like Volcanic Island, Wooded Foothills, it's pretty obvious what you're doing. So a Wasteland would be pretty horrific here. So I'm expecting that. Since they didn't daze us last turn, although I guess that may have been because they wanted to play the Wrenn and Six, that might be why they didn't daze. Because you'd rather play this and then eat this instead of dazing it. That makes sense. So they could still have a daze for this Leo if we draw a land next turn. We're not in a good spot. It's fair to say we're not in a good spot. Since we bowled to 5. They didn't play a land. Okay, that's good for us. So a bolt would be good, because then they don't get another land drop. A land for the Leo would be fantastic. We're not playing around days this turn. I think just because we can't. Okay, now we're just going to do this, so that's fine. So let's start by bolting this guy. And then if they want to daze the Astrolabe, go nuts. Awesome, that's a good draw, I think. Okay, so this has worked out quite nicely. They didn't get a land back. They traded with the Strix that drew us a card, so that's kind of made up for our Force of Will. If this is a true name, though, we are not in a good spot. It's a Winter Orb. Oh, of course it is in the main deck. Yeah, why wouldn't it be a Winter Orb? Why wouldn't it be a Winter Orb? Could be worse. We have a number of ways to get rid of that. 2 decays. We have 2 decays. We have 2 decays to get rid of that. Yeah, Winter Orb in the main deck seems really good at the moment. Definitely a good one. Let's just untap this because we don't want to get wastelanded, I guess. And pass turn. We're not too far behind on clock at the moment, so if we can find a decay in like a reasonable amount of time, we might be alright. If they get a goose or if they play like goose next turn, that's pretty rough for us. Delver, okay. I will play around days here because I don't particularly want to die. They did cast a Ponder last turn, so this will flip, I think. Draws a card with Arcum, cast Ponder. They didn't shuffle yet, so we need to kill this. If we could draw a Wrenn and Six, that would be good. But they could... I mean, if they got a Daze, I would have thought it would be on top of their deck. So they could flip this if they've drawn that with the Ponder. They've seen a few cards now, so it's possible they have a Daze. Maybe we just bolt it. If we draw Wrenn. Maybe just bolt it anyway, so we don't get dazed. But the upside of Wrenn is so high that if we drew it, maybe we should just play it. Because we're unlikely to win anyway against the Orb, whereas if we play the Wrenn and it resolves, we can kill the Delver, then we can uptick and start getting lands back and play through this Winter Orb a bit more. So we probably have to... I think if we draw Wrenn and Six, we'll just play the Wrenn and Six. I think that's the right thing to do, actually. We drew a Wasteland. Okay, so... that's pretty interesting. The nice thing about this, though... so let's bolt this Delver first. The nice thing about the Wasteland is you can Wasteland whatever they untap this turn. But maybe that's just greedy. Maybe that's just greedy and I'm better off snap Brainstorming. I'm actually not sure what the right thing to do is. Should I snap Brainstorm and hold the Wasteland, or should I just Wasteland them off of whatever they untap? Is an interesting question. I could also just waste them off of green as well, which probably isn't a bad shout. Do I just Wasteland them off of green for next turn? Probably not. I think I need my lands more than they need. Well, I obviously need mine more than they need theirs. Alright, now I'm kind of tempted to Wasteland the Tropical Island. Oh no, I could get Stifled now, right? Yeah, I could get Stifled now. This is probably loose. It's probably super loose. They might have put Stifle on top to flip the Delver to, which means if I Wasteland this, it's going to get Stifled. So if I was going to Wasteland the green source, I should have done it then, which means we don't want to Wasteland them. Because now we're not in a good spot to do that. Kind of almost just want to play Leovold this turn, to be honest, because that is better. That's pretty good against Stifle. But they need to have Daze this turn. Sword of the Meek. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, I think we're just going to slam Leo and see what happens. We just need to get a clock down and hope they can't do anything about it. So this needs to be green. If they have a Daze, they have a Daze. I think this is fine. Please don't Daze me. Come on. You put Stifle on top of your deck to flip your Delver to. Damn it, they have a Force. Okay, well, could have been worse, I think. So now I'm expecting a 2-drop to come down, which is going to be pretty rough, but I think it was worth jamming that there. I really do, because if that sticks, then we're in a really good spot. We've got a clock and we've got a way to prevent them finding good stuff. So this will be like a flipping Dharma. Yeah, of course it will. And they have another land. That's pretty bad. So the nice thing though is it means that we can always untap the basic land with the Astrolabe. So we've got all our colours of mana, which is good. That's not a bad one. So we can play the sea. Pass the turn. Do we play the Sword of the Meek now? So we're going to take 6. We've got 3 turns. Let's say we've got 2 turns. We play the Sword this turn. They attack us down to 12. We untap once. I don't think we can win with Sword of the Meek at the moment. So I think we're better off holding up the Snapcaster Mage for the time being. I think we need to try and brainstorm into a way to kill the Goyf or the Orb. I don't think casting Sword of the Meek does anything. I think we are just going to lose to this Goyf now. They didn't pitch Stifle as well, so that means maybe they didn't have that in hand. Second Goyf, I imagine. Or Wrenn and Six or something horrific. Second Goyf, go on, do it. Wrenn and Six, sure. So we're just dead. Yup. So we need to draw exactly Abrupt Decay now, I think. If we draw Abrupt Decay, we'll be in fantastic shape because then we can Abrupt Decay this and then snap Abrupt Decay. Actually, we could Abrupt Decay this, I guess. Okay, this isn't the worst draw in the world, so let's do this. Actually, this is a pretty bad draw because the Wrenn and Six kills it, but that's kind of all we've got going on. Swamp is a pretty good one. Now we just need to draw Abrupt Decay, or Edict is our only out. And we can't flash the Snapcaster Mage in because then we don't have enough lands up. So, good lord, that Winter Orb's really done a number on us. If they hadn't had the Winter Orb, I think we would have been in a very, very, very good spot. But unfortunately, Winter Orb is very good. This is now a little bit awkward too because we can't untap. Like, whatever we untap, they can Wasteland, which kind of sucks. So we need to draw Decay this turn. Please, can we draw Decay this turn? Just untap this, doesn't really matter. They're going to Wasteland the Bayou in my upkeep, I assume. Yep. Please, can we draw Decay? Please. Nope. Alright. I don't think it's worth... We have one more. No, because we can't. We can block that. We have one more chance. We have one more chance to do it. So let's pass a turn. We can snap block the Goyf, but we can't Brainstorm because. Oh no, we could Brainstorm. I guess we need to find a land. We'd have to Brainstorm to land plus a Decay. Do we? Do we snap Brainstorm? I don't think so. I think we just snap block. I think we just snap block. Because it seems unlikely that... I guess there's also an argument I could have snap bolted the Wrenn here. That also might have been a good play. Sure. So I could also have snap blocked, snap bolted even. That might have been a decent one. No, snap bolt wouldn't have done anything because then we wouldn't have had 2 mana up. Ignore that. Ignore my rambling. Alright, so that was rough just because the main board Winter Orb got us there, which is a shame. So post board, Pyroblast is going to be very good. Hydroblast is going to be very good. Triumph is going to be very good. That's basically it. Bolt is... less good, I would say. We've got Decays anyway, so I think we can cut both the bolts kind of happily. The Kolaghan's command, I think we can probably cut that. I guess we kind of need more ways to kill artifacts. Maybe we want the return to nature. Maybe, I guess the Kolaghan's command's just like better. This is a good hedge because it kills Delver and it kills the orb. We could cut a Snapcaster Mage. Don't hate that. I don't think they saw any of our combo in game 1. I don't think they saw any of that, so they're not going to be prepared for that, hopefully. I think I kind of like everything else. I could cut one Force of Will, possibly. Maybe this is fine. Don't really want to cut Force against Stifle that much, but I think going down to 3 is okay. We've got 2 Red Blasts, we've got a Hydro Blast as well. This is probably okay, so see how this goes. The Stifle with Force backup is kind of what got us overall in the game, though, I think. Because that meant we couldn't play the Leovold, and then we didn't have a clock, and we didn't have a way to stop them cantripping. And then the Winter Orb kind of just put the final nail in the coffin. Alright, this one is a little bit rough. Why? Why? Oh, no. So we get an extra draw to try and find a land, so we get 2 draws. We get 2 draws to find a land. Alternatively, and all of these cards are very good, so we get 2 draws to find a land because we get a draw off this and then we get a draw for turn on the second turn of the game. We have 21 lands. We could also just mulligan. If this was a... Yeah, we need ponders in this deck. We really need ponders in this deck. I think we're going to mull this. I think that, if it's on the draw, we'd definitely keep that, but on the play it's too rough. This is fine, but... We'll keep this, and I guess we can just keep the Wrenn. If that gets dazed, we're in such a bad spot though. But we can keep the Wrenn, we can bottom a Brainstorm. Done. Okay, this might be okay. Oh, geez, this is a rough one. So... the problem is, I do not want to get stifled. So I kind of just want to crack this Prismatic Vista this turn. But then we have to make a decision, and we're getting Decay or Wrenn and Six. Maybe it's just safer to get an island and Brainstorm, and then we can play the Thopter Foundry. That might just be safer. For the future, that is. So we could go play Vista, get an island, pass a turn. Our turn play Foundry, depending upon what else happens. I guess we just basically can't play around days. So maybe we do just go Vista, get a forest, I think we just get a forest and just hope that we can play Wrenn and Six. That's probably just the best line. And if they've got a snare or something, then so be it. But then we have no way of casting any blue cards. But at least it means if they don't Wasteland us, that we've got then a Decay to deal with their first threat. I think it doesn't really matter that much because we're 0-4. So I'm not going to agonise over it too much. But I think there's merit in just going Prismatic Vista, get a forest to play around Stifle. Like, Stifle's the biggest threat to this hand, I think. Well, Daze is obviously rough too. And we just did not play around Daze because we're on the play and we haven't got else. The problem is it just signals so hard what we're doing. Alright, we're just going to say balls to the wall, no Daze. Let's just get a forest, and they know we're going to be playing a Wrenn and Six on turn 2. So they get a whole turn to like cantrip into a Daze, which is what it is. But at least this way we've got something for the Decay on it as a follow-up, as long as we don't get Wastelanded. It does mean we're not casting these anytime soon, but we've got like 4 Astrolabes, 19 well, not 19 lands that cast things. We've got 17 lands that cast things, 4 Astrolabes. We've got 21 other cards that can find us, that can cast blue. So I think it's okay. So let's just get this and pass the turn. I don't know. This could be like super loosey-goosey, but if we dodge a Daze or a Force of Will, we can play Wrenn and Six on turn 2, and then our mana is just set for the rest of the game. If it gets dazed, we've got 21, 22 other blue sources. So Astrolabe or more fetches or lands. Okay. So please don't daze us, Mr. Rug Player. Please don't cast Daze. Please do not daze the Wrenn and Six. Please don't do it. If we draw a Force of Will, that'd be fantastic. We did not. That's also a good draw, though, if we do get dazed. So my body is ready to get dazed. They shouldn't have that many dazes on the draw, though. So they're just going to force it. Okay, so that sucks, but it's definitely the better of the options we could have come across. And now we have 2 answers to whatever they do next. So I don't know. I think that's okay to try and go for this, honestly. And if they play a Goyf this turn, we've got Decay. If they play their own Wrenn and Six, we've got Decay. Yep, that's fine. I don't know. I think you can justify that line. Like we've mulled to 6 already. I think we've got to try and get a bit lucky there. And we were just unlucky that they happened to have the Force plus 2 threats. So see what we can do. Okay, joke's on them. Don't have the thing. Come on. Yes, nice. That's all we needed. That's absolutely fine. I did kind of jam that without thinking about it too much, but I think that's fine. Yes, nice. Okay, so I still don't want to get stifled. We're definitely getting an island, so we can just do that anyway. I guess I can Reb a Stifle next turn, though. So let's just pass. So the Wrenn and Six is going to die, but that's fine. We got our land back. Like, we could have tried to go Decay, then play the Wrenn a turn later, but I don't know. I think this is okay. The Decay is really better saved for their own Wrenn if they get a Wasteland online at some point, so yep, it's fine. Sucks, but it is what it is. Windrob. Of course they have a Windrob. Okay, so we can decay that, which is fine. We actually can't decay that because we've tapped both of our decay mana sources, obviously. So let's untap this guy and see what we draw for turn. We drew a Karn. That's a pretty good one, I guess. Now I think we just pass because we need to decay that. Which I can't. Maybe I should have untapped this because I can't decay. No, I don't know. This needs to be a blue source, so. Maybe I should have brainstormed that turn actually as well. That may have been a punt. It's possible I should have brainstormed there because the decay is not going to get countered anyway. So I probably should have brainstormed. So I may have found another mana source for the decay. So never mind. Let's untap and decay the Winter Orb. Okay, so maybe we just start with a brainstorm. This is probably super loose play as usual. I think we should have brainstormed last turn for a fact. See what happens. Okay, well these are definitely attractive. So let's put this guy on top and probably just the Wrenn and Six because we can play that next turn. Although we're gonna, yeah, we have to decay the orb and then we can play. Okay, then we can play a Baleful Strix. So let's do this. And then we can decay the Winter Orb on their end step. Then we can play a Baleful Strix for the Goyf. So you decay the Winter Orb, play a Strix for the Goyf. We are going down low though. If they have more threats, then I don't think we can win this. Brainstorm, okay. Yeah, really regret not brainstorming the turn before. That was definitely a mistake. Let's do this. So I can actually Wrenn and Six and cast the Strix. 4, 5. And then we go to 4, we go to 3. So we die to Bolt Goyf on the way back if they daze the Strix. Do we play around that? I think we have to not play around that. They probably got a Bolt. There are no creatures in the yard either. So if we play, we could just play a Strix round a daze. That might be just the safest thing to do. The problem, I kind of need to make land drops though, because if I go Strix and it resolve, if I go, I don't know. I think I need to keep going with the not playing around things philosophy. In all honesty, I think that's probably better. They might just have a force for this anyway, in which case we're just dead. Okay, that's good. Let's return this guy. Play this guy. Please don't have a daze. They could have a red elemental blast for the Baleful Strix as well. So there are a number of ways in which we just lose here. But I think we just have to try and go for it. So I'm expecting a Reb or a daze. Daze, sure. So this sucks because now we're just dead to a Bolt, which is really bad for us. So if they just bolt us, we're just dead. But if they don't have a Bolt, we can play a Strix. So I'm just going to assume they're going to get bolted. Yeah, they just had the Bolt. So I don't know. I think that was fine. They needed to have quite a specific. They had to have some specific cards. So they had to have Bolt and Daze. They've only cast one Brainstorm. They pitched a Ponder. So I don't know. I think this is an okay sequence. I think we made some reasonable decisions here. Like, we're on a Malta 6 anyway. They were putting us under pressure with Goose and Goyf. And I think I think this is the play to win line, which is hoping the Wrenn resolves and hoping the Strix resolves, and then you're in a good spot. Whereas if you just play Strix, they can bolt the Strix anyway if they have a Bolt. And then you're not really in a better spot. You need to develop your mana to be able to play the Thopter combo anyway. So I think I stand by the decisions I made there. Maybe I made some other mistakes earlier on, but I don't think there's a lot that we could have done about that really. We were just kind of unlucky not to draw one of our forcibles, I suppose. But yeah, no worries. Winter Orb also kind of ranched us a bit, but that's always going to happen against control decks. I think the biggest mistake, honestly, is probably just oh, geez, ignore that. It's probably just not casting the Brainstorm a couple of turns ago. So I think the decision making to try and win the game at the end there was okay. So in any case, thanks everyone for sticking around. Very pleased that everyone stuck around through the rest of that last match from the big raid. So thanks everyone. I'll be back on Thursday, I think. So if you want to keep in touch for that, click the follow button for the Twitch channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter. There's a link to that underneath the video. And if you want to watch the previous rounds, which I think were pretty interesting, they'll be going up on YouTube later. So have a look at that. We've also got some other cool stuff. I have actually done okay with some decks before and not just gone 05. I haven't had an 05 in ages, so there's some better stuff on there. But I think this has definitely got some legs. I don't know. I played pretty loose for a lot of this stream because I haven't played Magic in a week. And there's probably some things we need to figure out. Like maybe we need some ponders in here somewhere, I think. Could maybe cut these three to fit some more cantrips in, and maybe a Deluge. We definitely missed a Deluge against Elves and Death and Taxes. But on the whole, I think there's a reasonable argument. There's a way we could have maybe made it to 2-3. I think we definitely should have been 1-4 at a minimum if we'd made better decisions. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you on Thursday.